following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFN coming to you with my first Transformers review of 2023, and I looked back on my channel a few days ago before the year 2022 ended, and a Transformers figure that I actually bought 1.5 years ago, though I never did a review of it. I was surprised to see, but then I looked back and I remembered that I didn't really bother to do a review of this Transformers figure because when I purchased it at the time, I didn't really feel the need to make a review of it due to the fact that it was a gimmicky Transformers figure that wasn't really targeted to older adult Transformers collectors. But the main reason I got it was because I felt that it was, out of all the handful of action figures of this character, the one that looked most like this character's appearance in the original Transformers Generation 1 cartoon. I apologize for having my head bowed. I was making sure I had the figure in a decent enough pose for robot mode. But as the title of the video has already revealed, the figure we're going to be looking at is Transformers Cyberverse Alpha Trion. So this is the Ultra Class action battle Alpha Trion figure. I can't remember the exact name that was on the box, but yeah, here is the Cyberverse version of Alpha Trion. Officially on the Transformers Wikipedia that it's known as an Ultra Class size. Ultra Class, for those of you who don't aware, is been a defunct size class for many years that was in between the size of a Voyager and Leader class Transformers figure. And yes, Cyberverse Alpha Trion, he is one of the bulkier Transformers figures, definitely out of all the Alpha Trion figures that have been released. So for a brief size comparison, in robot mode, here is Alpha Trion next to Cyberverse Alpha Trion next to Titans Return Alpha Trion. I have Titans Return Optimus Prime's head on Alpha Trion's body because I've been using this figure as Leo Prime until the upcoming Legacy Evolution Leo Prime figure gets released. But just to give you an idea that, yeah, he is in between the size of a, as my tongue fails me, Cyberverse Alpha Trion, his action figure, it's roughly the same size as a small Leader class Transformers figure in the Legacy line. But yeah, compared to past Alpha Trion figures that we've gotten, and he is one of the, he's arguably was the most G1 looking Alpha Trion figure until the HasCon exclusive A Hero Is Born Legacy 2-pack Alpha Trion figure was released, and East, which is a repaint of Studio Series Scourge. But yes, that's what motivated me to get this version of Alpha Trion. He's one of only 4 Transformers Cyberverse figures I have in my Transformers collection. The others are the Ultra Class Cyberverse Rack and Ruin figure. I got that as a present from a very dear friend of mine, Autocorrect Primer, along with the Cyberverse Optimus Prime with the base trailer. I also got that as a gift from Autocorrect Primer, so thank you for those Cyberverse figures. And then my 4th Cyberverse figure is the tiny Legends Class Windblade figure. I still have that figure in the box. I never took it out. But yeah, this is Cyberverse Alpha Trion, and yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about him. Until the Legacy Alpha Trion figure was released, he was the most G1 accurate looking Alpha Trion figure, and because he's designed to be a gimmick Transformer targeted towards younger aged Transformers fans and collectors, he is built like a brick, almost literally. He has the his articulation rivals that of Generation 1 and Generation 2 Transformers action figures from the 80s and early 90s. So for his articulation, his arms can go outward and fold in and out at the shoulder joint, but it's only about 45 degrees, and his elbow joint can hinge up and down and up to 90 degrees. He does technically have swivel joints in his hips, but it's hindered by the kibble on the inside of his thighs, which is the nose cone of his jet mode. And he, of course, he kind of technically does have a knee joint, E-joint, but again, the nose cone kibble gets in the way of his pelvic region, and it's more of a transformation joint than anything else. And the legs, of course, can go sprawl outward at the hips. And yeah, that's pretty much Cyberverse Alpha Trion's articulation. And of course, he has the main gimmick where if you press on this button here on his back, he can deploy 2 laser guns out of his back wings. The gimmick works primarily in his jet mode instead of robot mode, but it is still workable. And because he is such a because he's designed to be a gimmick transformer, I can actually show his transformation on camera for you guys. So, and yes, the cannons are on a very light trigger, so they do like to spring off. So the first step in transformation is to fold the wings out to the sides, and then straighten out Alpha Trion's arms if they aren't straightened out already, and then you take the legs at the knees, and what you're supposed to do is, as you bend the knee 180 degrees, you're supposed to flip the nose piece of the jet mode around. But unfortunately, due to a very low tolerance clearance issues between Alpha Trion's different parts, it's next to impossible to actually complete the transformation the way you're officially supposed to. So yeah, I forgot you have to do the legs first, then flip the cannons off to the side, so that's why it messed up for me here. Alright, and the tube clips pieces here for the nose cone of the jet mode, they like to pop off as well, quite a lot. So, even though Cyberverse Alpha Trion is supposed to have a very simplistic transformation, it's actually can be quite difficult at times to actually transform him. And then you once you have that in place, this is how he is in robot mode, and then you just lay him down flat like this, and there, he's transformed into his vehicle mode of a Cybertronian jet. So yeah, that is Cyberverse Alpha Trion in his jet mode. It's very, very simplistic. Again, he's was designed to be a Transformers figure bought by younger Transformers fans, not older adult age collectors. But for the last 2 years, he has been the most due and accurate looking Alpha Trion figure that I had in my Transformers collection. But at the time, I hadn't really the only Cyberverse figures I'd reviewed, I'd added to my collection and done reviews on were the ones that Autobots Primer had sent me, so I didn't really see a need to review Alpha Trion 2 now, so I decided why not start off the new year by actually doing a review of him, and of course the same button that I pressed in robot mode. Oh, you press it forward and it deploys Alpha Trion's cannons. They're supposed to look like he's the images over on his packaging shows that the reason the missiles are shaped like this is because he's supposed to be firing a burst of electricity with his laser cannons, but unfortunately the overall design of it almost looks like a bunch of bubble gum is at the tip of the laser guns due to it being painted pink. So it's not really the greatest gimmick even amongst the Cyberverse Ultra Class figures, but for what it's worth, and what it's trying to be, it does manage to successfully be fully transforming Alpha Trion action figure. And just for a quick size comparison in jet mode with another Transformers figure that hopefully most of you have in your collections, or you're at least more familiar with it, part of it just fell off. But just to give you guys a further idea of just how bulky a figure Cyberverse Alpha Trion is, for a size comparison with another Transformer that turns into a jet, here is the Transformers Kingdom Core Class Starscream figure. We got Skywarp in the Legacy OG line last year in 2022, and recently on TFW 2005, it was revealed that we are getting Core Class Thundercracker later this year. It's unknown if Thundercracker is going to be released in the Studio Series 86 line or if he's going to be released in Legacy Evolution. And Thundercracker will have his null rays just like Core Class Starscream. But yeah, Alpha Trion's roughly the size of a Leader Class figure. That's pretty much all there is to say. Hey, so for the proverbial question, do I recommend getting Cyberverse Alpha Trion and adding him to your Transformers collection? I only recommend you get this figure if you absolutely enjoy Alpha Trion as a Transformers character, and if you can overlook the fact that he's essentially has the same amount of articulation as a original Generation 1 Transformers action figure, and you can overlook his somewhat cartoonish looking jet mode, then by all means get Cyberverse Alpha Trion and add him to your Transformers collection. But if you prefer an Alpha Trion figure that's been designed to be that's been marketed towards adult age collectors, then the best Alpha Trion figures that are out there for you to collect are the Titans Return Alpha Trion and the Transformers Legacy: A Hero Is Born 2-pack Alpha Trion Ion action figure, and Cyberverse Alpha Trion can be an easy pass. So, yeah, I only recommend getting this figure if you're a huge fan of Alpha Trion and if you don't mind the gimmicky Cyberverse figures. So thank you guys all so much. This has been the TFA and Geek, and this has been my first review for 2023 Transformers Cyberverse Ultra Class Alpha Trion. And stay tuned for my other upcoming reviews. I still have roughly 1.5 dozen Transformers figures that I purchased last year in 2022 to review. Most from the Legacy line, some from the Studio Series 86 line. And so thank you guys all so much, and until next time, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, transform, and roll out. Goodbye, everyone, and welcome to 2023.